Abdul Carter asked for LT's 56 and Phil Simms' 11 and was shut down by both of them. Since being drafted, Giants rookie edge rusher Abdul Carter has been shot down in his request, like I just said. LT said, "Get another number. I don't care if it's 00 and then make it famous." Simms said he would have given the number, but was outvoted by his family. Carter then said, "Damn, at this point, I'm going to be out there with just my last name on my jersey, no number. Just kidding, it's all love, just want to play football." Errol, dial it up.
I absolutely agree with Lawrence Taylor. You don't ask the greatest or one of the top 3 greatest defensive players for his number. Phil Simms, who the hell is Phil Simms? He lost his job to Hostetler. He did win a championship, but he had nothing to do with winning that championship. It was a great defense. Banks and all those guys, and obviously the one and only, we were just talking about it. But nevertheless, if I was Abdul Carter, I wouldn't be happy with the Giants. I sit here right now, I wait 5 years, and I say, you know what? You don't want to give me my number? I'm getting the hell out of here. Send me over to the Cleveland Browns. They'll give me number 56. I don't know. I just say this. Abdul Carter's going to be a sensational player. I think Lawrence Taylor has every right to say what he said. Go pick a number and make it great. He has a chance to make that number great. So go out there and make the number great.
I get the respect factor of asking for a number. But if you have the respect to ask me for it, I've already created that legacy. That's why you're asking me. And wouldn't you want somebody to honor you and play the game the right way and wear and represent that number? And what they're going to do is they're going to think of you. I have no respect for guys like this because the game is bigger than you. Yes, you were one of the greatest, but you know what? You're going to die. This game is never going to die. The game is bigger than you. The game is bigger than you. And let a young man that wants to respect you ask you permission to wear that damn number. That should be an honor for you. But you have an ego and the ability to turn that down because of what you think you are. I think that's garbage. I think it's just not a great move because this young man did it the right way. I think it's garbage.
Joba, there's a lot of players that do that, and there's a lot of ex-players
I think it's terrible. I don't care.
He's not the only one. And Lawrence Taylor is arguably the greatest defensive player of all time. If I was Lawrence, I wouldn't want it either. I don't want anybody wearing my number. I am. I guess I am. I'm a dope. Why? But if I'm Lawrence Taylor.
Well, we know you're not a good student, so you must be pretty stupid.
I guess so. But nevertheless.
The game has been around longer than Lawrence Phillips. There's going to be somebody that's better than him.
Taylor.
Lawrence Phillips to me.
Honestly, it's been how long? Almost 30-something years?
Why would you not want somebody to represent your number?
None of those guys.
I had something I shared
Michael
with Speedy
Irvin
earlier
in the
about
88.
this. What if it was like after 100 years, you can wear the number, or maybe NFL 75 years, right? So think about it. If after 100 years, because the Yankees have the most retired numbers of all teams in sports, right? 20 retired numbers. What if after 100 years from your last game, that number's semi-retired, but it's used again as an honor, like Babe Ruth's 3, his last game was 1935, would be up in 10 years for 100 years. And then the Yankees, the hotshot prospect, they'd want to give him number 3. Just kind of like how they said Mantle was going to get number 7 because he was the next guy because they had that number next.
That's a big weight to carry for that young buck.
It probably is, but wouldn't it be cool to see those numbers come back in that kind of a tribute sort of way? Anyway, I just think that might be the only way I would be okay with it. But I'm on board with you, Errol. First off, the Phil Slim slander, and I can't let that slide. Super Bowl 21, Phil Simms, 22 of 25, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 88% completion rate, still a record for the Super Bowl, 150.9 passing rating, retired jersey, and Giants. I don't want to hear about him losing his job. That number deserves to be retired for that job.
Okay, so let's run this back. Mm-hmm. You guys talk about retired numbers and all this. Now Colorado, no kid can wear a Shadur Sanders or a Travis Hunter number. What are we talking about?
Well, that's different.
What are we
Do you want
talking about?
Shador's number, though?
That's not different.
That's
It's
Deion
the same
Sanders'
principle.
crap. That's why it's going on.
But it's the same principle. It's retired.
Yeah. Well, Deion Sanders
It's
is
the
an
same
idiot.
principle.
Colorado's an idiot program, and they don't
No,
belong.
we're not talking about where it's at.
How
We're
about
talking
Jackie
about the
Robinson?
same principle.
Why can't Jackie Robinson's number come out of retirement?
Because he changed an
And
dynamic.
Lawrence
of
Taylor changed the game. What are you talking about?
No,
He changed
he
the
was
game.
a great linebacker. It wasn't the
Great
first
linebacker.
that ever
He was the
played.
greatest linebacker to ever play the game. Arguably the greatest defensive player of all time. He changed the game. And you got Abdul Carter going in. I want to wear
You're
your number
talking about
56.
him changing
I
the
tell you
game.
to go screw
Jackie
yourself.
Robinson
Shove
changed
this
the
up your ass,
exact
Abdul.
Culture of a sport. First black man to ever play. This
Listen,
dude was playing linebacker. There was plenty of linebackers that played.
as good as
He was
Lawrence
the first
Taylor.
black man to play
Okay.
this game.
Lawrence Taylor.
That's different than Lawrence Taylor.
Why is it different? Lawrence Taylor, Lawrence changed the game.
How is it not different?
He changed the game.
I would say Jackie Robinson's change of the game was more important
Thank
than
you.
Taylor's. But Taylor
That's not
is
my argument.
arguably the
That's not my
greatest player
argument.
of all
That was
time.
not my argument. My argument is Lawrence Taylor changed the game. And if Jackie Robinson, you're not allowed to bring his number back. And if you went to his wife and you said, and she says yes, oh, it's a smack in the face. But if somebody went to Jackie Robinson's wife and said, listen, could I wear Jackie Robinson's number? And she said yes.
How much of a blessing that would be to represent that number.
She wouldn't
and
do
to
it.
Honor why you want to do it.
She wouldn't do it. And I don't think Lawrence Taylor would do it either.
I don't think a lot of places.
How
are
did
gonna
Lawrence
do it.
Taylor change the? How did Lawrence Taylor change the game of football?
Have you
In
ever
any
watched?
aspect-
Did you ever watch Lawrence
in
Taylor
any
play?
as- I'm saying in any aspect, does it even come close to the way that Jackie Robinson changed the game? Of football?
100%. He changed the
No.
game. Yeah, 100%. I disagree. You guys look at it in a different way. When you watched Lawrence Taylor play and how he changed the game as a linebacker, he came into the league and what do you mean how he changed the game? All
he
the
definitely
linebackers,
changed the
he
game.
changed the game.
But
Even Reggie White,
was-
may rest in peace. Reggie White, who Lawrence Taylor says to this day is better than him. Reggie White said that there will never be a player like Lawrence Taylor. Ever. Reggie White. Arguably the greatest defensive player of all time. So change the game 100%. You'll never see a linebacker that great, that dominant as Lawrence Taylor. So I
But you're
disagree.
talking about changing the game.
He
in an
changed the
athletic
game as a
ability.
linebacker. Changed the
Jackie
game as a
Robinson
linebacker.
changed the whole.
I'm not saying Jackie
dynamic of
Robinson
what
didn't.
baseball was.
I'm not saying he didn't.
That's
But-
why it's different.
No, it's
Do
not.
you
It's
have a
not
Jackie
different.
Robinson jersey on right now, Errol?
No, this isn't
That
a
would be
Jackie
great if he
Robinson.
did.
No.
It says Rolo on it. doesn't
Yes.
it?
No, it
It
says
probably
Emarks.
says his name because
He
that's
marks.
what he always puts on.
I don't wear other
You know,
people's names
Sean
on mine.
O'Hara told us to do that when we were at the Super Bowl.
Yes. I don't wear
because
anybody
guys
else's name
change
on mine.
Jerseys all the time.
I only wear
But-
my own name.
Look, I don't want to. This conversation.
Except
is very
Caitlin
fascinating.
Clark. I bought that jersey because I had to. I had to show
Jack-
Nick Goody that I'm going to do it.
If you're going to compare Jackie Robinson as the player to
Not
Lawrence
comparing
Taylor,
them. Not
obviously
comparing
Lawrence
them.
Taylor was better as a player in the NFL than Jackie Robinson was
comparing
as a
them.
player in baseball because he's the greatest player of all time, and Jackie
It's
Robinson's
true.
top 25,
It's true.
probably all
It's
time.
true.
He's number one. It's like saying he's Babe Ruth compared to Derek Jeter on the Yankees.
You guys,
Are
listen,
they
you
both
guys
Hall
are
of Famers that
baseball
got in
guys. and-
unanimously almost? Yes. And they both are all-time greats. I don't really know what the argument is that we're saying right here, but Jackie Robinson did more for the
Jackie
game
Robinson did more
than,
for the game than
Lawrence Taylor did for